The roofers working next door spoke Polish about a delivery tonight. When I heard them say she's 16 and doesn't speak English, I knew I had to act. I was working from home that Thursday afternoon, trying to meet a deadline when the noise started. Hammering, power tools, men shouting to each other in a language I recognized immediately as Polish. My grandmother had immigrated from Krakow in the 1960s, and I'd grown up hearing the language at family gatherings. By the time I was 12, I was fluent enough to translate for my grandmother at doctor's appointments. The house next door had been empty for 3 months since old Mrs. Walsh died. Apparently someone had finally bought it and was doing renovations. I didn't think much of it at first. I pulled on headphones and tried to focus on my presentation. But around 2 p.m., something made me pause the music. The men were taking a break directly below my office window. Their voices carried clearly through my open window. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but when you understand the language people are speaking, your brain automatically processes the words. "So tonight's the delivery?" one voice asked in Polish. I couldn't see the speaker, but he sounded young, maybe mid-20s. "Yes, around midnight," another voice responded, older and rougher. Piotr confirmed the route is clear. No checkpoints on that highway this week. My hand froze on my mouse. Delivery? Checkpoints? These weren't normal construction worker conversations. I slowly moved my chair closer to the window, staying out of sight behind the curtain. "How many this time?" the younger voice asked. "Just one, 16 years old. Doesn't speak any English, so she'll be easy to control." The rough voice laughed without humor. "Boss says she's worth good money. Young, pretty, desperate, perfect product." My stomach turned to ice. They were talking about a person, a 16-year-old girl who didn't speak English, and they were calling her a product. "Where's she coming from?" the younger one asked. "Ukraine originally, but she's been in Poland for a year. Family paid smugglers to get her out when the war started, but the smugglers sold her instead of helping her. She's been working off her debt ever since, if you know what I mean." My hands started shaking. I knew exactly what he meant. Sex trafficking. They were talking about trafficking a teenage girl, and they were doing it right outside my window. Speaking Polish because they assumed no one in this suburban American neighborhood would understand them. "Who's picking her up?" "Pavel is driving down from Chicago tonight. He'll take her to the house on Riverside Drive, get her settled, then she starts work tomorrow." Riverside Drive. I knew that area. It was an industrial section of town with cheap motels and warehouses. "What if she tries to run?" the younger voice asked. The rough voice laughed again. "Where's she going to run? She doesn't speak English, has no papers, doesn't know anyone. Even if she got away, who would she tell? The police? She's terrified of authority. No, she'll be cooperative once she understands how things work here." I pulled back from the window, my mind racing. I had to do something. But what? Call the police and tell them I'd overheard construction workers speaking Polish about human trafficking? They'd think I was crazy. I needed evidence, something concrete. I grabbed my phone and opened the voice recorder app, then positioned it on the windowsill, hidden behind a plant. The men were still on break, now talking about more mundane things, but I kept recording, hoping they'd say something else useful. 20 minutes later, my patience was rewarded. A third voice joined them, speaking in rapid Polish about logistics. "The van will be here at 11:45 p.m. Pavel wants to do the handoff quick, no more than 5 minutes. You have the girl's documents? Everything's ready," the rough voice confirmed. "Passport, work visa, all fake, but they look real enough. She's supposed to be 19 and here on a cultural exchange program. What name are we using?" "Natalia Kowalski. Boss thinks it's better to keep her first name so she responds when people call her Natalia." The girl had a name now, which somehow made this even more horrifying. She wasn't just an abstract victim. She was a 16-year-old named Natalia, who'd survived a war, been betrayed by smugglers, spent a year being exploited in Poland, and was now being trafficked to America with fake documents and no way to ask for help. I had 8 hours to figure out how to save her. Full story on my channel or linked below.